So we're moving on to what is, I'd label one of my favourite exercises, the traditional squat. And it shows you how we can use the Powertube Pro in a more freestyle sort of manner. So you just stand on top of the Powertube that you chose. I have chosen the red one, and I put our arms in this position. Good position where you've got your shoulders tucked nicely, arms in close. Think of a chin up, thin tummy. And when you do a traditional squat, it's important you feel as though the weight's through your heels, not on your toes. You want weight through your heels, slight flex in the knees, and pretend there's a chair behind you. And that's what you're wanting to rest on. And that's a good squatting technique. So here we go. It's important that you keep your core on right through full range of movement. So really suck that belly button to the back of your spine through the full range of movement. There's a tendency for people to disengage it, and that affects the quality of the squat. Continuing on with our back exercises, again, we're going to use the seated row, but from the floor. So if you don't have a Swiss ball, it's fine, you can do it on the ground. Starting from a mid anchor point, we're using 2 power tubes. I'm using the blue and the green for good resistance. Again, sit tall, you can't collapse. You want to be sitting tall, and what'll make you sit tall is having a thin tummy by pushing back the belly button on the back of your spine, chin up, chest up, arms fully extended. You're in a great position to start the seated row. And from here, we just pull towards our chest. And again, picture a piece of paper between your shoulder blades, and you want to squeeze that. So you push it to the end range, hold, and then come back. And really control the speed of movement through full range of movement. That way, you get maximum effect through the full exercise. Still focusing on the upper body, this is the seated chest press. I'm going to use the Swiss ball again as a gauge for how our balance is and how strong our core is. Really important to keep that on through the full range of movement, otherwise you'll move around and it'll affect a quality movement. So what we have here is you have our hands in this position, overhand grip, have the power tube sitting above your shoulders, and then we have a thin tummy, and put just a little bit of tension coming through on the power tube, not too much, otherwise it'll throw you and it'll make it too difficult. So I'm feeling just a little bit of tension, starting at shoulder height distance, and once I finish the movement, it'll be finishing just below my chin, and focus on good quality movement through full range of movement. This will challenge your core as well, and it's a great exercise. So here's another part of the leg series, which is a really good one to do from the low anchor point. We're using the green power tube, and Dom here, at the moment, there's not enough resistance on the power tube, so if you just shuffle forward a little bit, Dom, and to that point where you just start feeling a little bit of tension, and that's the starting point. Now, important that you start in this position that Dom is. Her hands have formed a V, she's placed her forehead in there, and there's not too much tension in the lower back. It's important that you look to imprint your hips into the floor, and that way you stay anchored through here so that your back doesn't arch up and you isolate your hamstrings. And then you can just do a nice controlled movement and get that last bit of squeeze, and that's a really critical movement. Keep the tension even through both. So it's like that 1-for-1 timing ratio, and that really isolates the hamstring. Great exercise for your hamstrings, and a really good one to do off the low anchor point. Here's another great exercise for the triceps. This is on a Swiss ball. It's called the seated tricep kickback. Again, Swiss balls are a really good cue for engaging your core and making sure you're nice and stable. any movement, you've got to engage your core. So again, start thin tummy, sit tall, chest up, chin forward, and what we want to do is have a bit of tension on the red power tube, which I've chosen. And from here, arms are extended, we kick back with straight arms, and you feel the squeeze in your tricep, really important to finish the end range of movement here. That's going to isolate the muscle, which is tricep, and you'll feel a little bit in your rear deltoid as well, which is the back of your shoulder. A really good exercise, but focus on good speed and of movement through full range of movement. So what we've got here is an oldie but a goodie. It's a standing bicep curl, but we're using the green power tube, and just stand on top of it. Shoulder width apart, get nice balance so your arms are hanging nicely by your side as Dom's exhibiting here. Really good position, palms facing forward, and that's right, she's pressing to the top, and then keep that tone and resistance all the way through. So the speed that you go up, you go down. Really good control, which creates good strength and also good tone through those biceps. How are those muscles or how are those guns feeling, Dom? Really good, simple exercise. Make sure you have good technique, good posture, as Dom is always exhibiting here, with a good thin tummy and a tall posture. Great exercise, particularly now that summer's around the corner. Starting some more ab exercises. This is the seated crunch with bent arms. A really good exercise, obviously using a Swiss ball to give you good feedback straight away, because as soon as you disengage your core, you start moving around on the Swiss ball. So straight away, think of thin tummy, pull your belly button to the back of your spine, good posture, a little bit of tension on the power tube. Your arms are at 90 degrees in a strong position here, good for your thoracic, and you want to stay in one piece as you fold forward, thinking of the thin tummy the whole way through. Can't collapse. Really good ab exercise. Think of control right through the full range of movement. Really good exercise, and think of folding in one piece. This is a really good exercise for the shoulder girdle. It's called the rear deltoid kickback, but starting position is always important in every exercise you do when you're using the power tube. Call it about a quarter squat position. Feel as though you're about to sit in a chair, so weights through your heels, chin up, chest up, and then in that position, we bend forward, we just hinge forward a little bit, and then we're in the perfect starting position. Arms extended on the green power tube here on either side, and arms stay straight through full range of movement. We want to kick back, and you feel the squeeze in your shoulders and triceps, and that's the end point. And maintain really good control through the contraction and return phase, the concentric and eccentric phase. You'll feel that in your tricep and rear delt. It's a great exercise. This exercise, the front shoulder raise, is a really good one for, I guess, isolating the top part of the shoulder in a really controlled manner. Again, Dom, we've gone a lighter resistance. We've gone the yellow power tube, which is a good one for doing this particular exercise because you don't need too much resistance because you want to get the movement down pat. So you take the shoulders up just to parallel. You don't need to go too far past because that starts bringing in the trap, but you just want to isolate what I think is a really important exercise for the front part of the shoulder. How does that feel, Dom?
Feeling great. It's working my muscles really hard on the shoulder and got great tension.
And as you can see from the side on, she just doesn't need to go past parallel. Just to that point is really important, and you maintain the same movement. So up for one, down for one. Timing's really critical in getting tone and also strength and resistance through the shoulder blade.